So, question from Manoj Prabhu: should we chant 25 rounds on Ekadashi? Did Srila Prabhupada tell us to chant 25 rounds on Ekadashi? Answer: our principle that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given is Kirtaniya Sadahari. So we would like to chant all the time. At the same time, the initiation vow that Srila Prabhupada gave is for 16 rounds. Now, based on this foundation, devotees can always build up. Now, there are some spiritual masters within ISKCON who expect their disciples to chant 25 rounds, and they include that as even an initiation vow. So if our spiritual master has told us to do that, then we should definitely do that as an initiation vow, because that is what we have vowed in front of the sacred fire and in front of the deities and in front of the Vaishnavas and in front of the spiritual master. At the same time, this is not as mandatory as chanting 16 rounds. So for those devotees whose spiritual master doesn't expect that as an initiation requirement, or those devotees who are not yet initiated and not yet decided about their spiritual master, for them,
you are now running on reserve battery power.
They don't need to chant 25 rounds as a mandatory requirement. So it is up to the individual to decide if that person feels inspired to chant. Now, holy name is always purifying, but we have 9 different processes of devotional service, and we also have various other responsibilities that we have. So it is always good if we can chant more, but it is not mandatory, certainly not as mandatory as chanting of the 16 rounds. Now, Srila Prabhupada may have said it occasionally sometime, but even if he has said it, his statements which are made not in his purports but off the Vyasasana during casual conversations, they also have weight, they are also important, but there is a hierarchy of importance, and his statements informally are definitely not as authoritative as his statements formally. When they are written in the purports, and Srila Prabhupada has put them in a written form or dictated them so that they can put in a written form. So the initiation vow is 16 rounds, and beyond that, other extra chanting can always be done. And if a spiritual master specifically expects